What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. You know who it is by now, Jimothy. So ladies and gents, we are back at locals, and it's been an interesting week. I've basically been in the lab all week trying to perfect Despia, and it hasn't been going too well. I've just come to the conclusion that the deck just needs just that little bit more support to be able to be competitively viable. It's got some cool gimmicks, some cool quirks, it's got a lot of damage output, but compared to some of the meta decks in the current format, it just doesn't build the type of boards that you would like to see going first, and it could kind of relegate itself to a going second deck, which is always a risky strategy in today's day and age, especially with a lot of floodgates in the game, as well as a lot of just crazy boards being built. So it's something that I'm still reviewing. I'm still going to be refining the deck. I did manage to get myself a Guardian Chimera actually, so I'll be able to do something with that. But anyway, we are back at locals. We're going to Asgard today. It is Sunday. I managed to make it to the Sunday locals. I couldn't go to Griffin on Friday, so yeah, it is what it is. But I'm actually bringing live twins back into the equation. I just wanted something to play that I was comfortable with, and live twins was that. I'm still looking to kind of like test out a few other decks with the regional coming up, but nevertheless, we're here live twins today. There's a load of hate in the deck, load of hand traps, a load of removal cards, so we'll see how it goes, ladies and gents. Hopefully we can have a decent run and finish on a respectable record. So yeah, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace. Okay, so round one, ladies and gents, I managed to match up against Mr. Misplay. Now, I will leave a link in the description to his channel, so you definitely can go and check him out. And he was actually playing Fossils, just because he wanted to play a bit of a chill deck after, I think he qualified or almost qualified or got his invite basically, so he just wanted to just chill out. And this is the first time we played against each other. Now, I actually lost this game, and upon looking at the footage again, it was actually my own fault. So game one, I managed to win with about 100 life points left. So what he did was he actually went into his Skull Giles, I believe. I think it's the big level 8 dinosaur monster, or rock monster, sorry, and he managed to attack over one of my smaller live twins, because I actually tagged out the Trouble Sunny in order to pop his mathematician. So we actually crashed into one of those, and I got left with 100 life points, and I couldn't target his Skull Giles because of it was summoned off of Miracle Fusion. Is it Miracle Fusion? Fossil Fusion, sorry, which is in the graveyard. So I actually managed to banish my Trouble Sunny, dumping my live twins Kissikil and Leela to the graveyard to be able to non-target and send his Skull Giles to the graveyard. And after that, I was able to amass enough damage for lethal. Game 2 is the game where I just misplayed so heavily. So I was going through my normal plays, and I went into Baguska, I went into Parallel Exceed, and I forgot to summon the second Parallel Exceed in order to go into Baguska, which would have won me the game, because it would have just put all of his monsters into defense position, and obviously I'm playing Link monsters, so that is just a no-no for myself. So that kind of lost me the game, to be honest, because he ended up winning that game. And then game 3, he actually nibbed me as I was going through my combo, and I just couldn't recover from the Nibiru. So it was, all in all, it was a good match. Again, it's just good to kind of review your own footage just to see where you went wrong, kind of thing. But definitely good game from him. Shout out to Mr. Misplay. I got an absolute stonking off of Fossils, and he actually just went full combo in game 3, just to flex, to show me what the deck could do. So yeah, it was a bit of a rude awakening, but nonetheless we lost that one, so we had to move on to round 2. Okay, ladies and gents, we lost round 1. Got smacked by Nibiru in game 3 after comboing off. It was horrible. We're about to jump into round 2. I'll give you a little bit of a full rundown of my matches, probably towards the end, and I will include some of the duels in them anyway, ladies and gents. But yeah, as I said, round 2 is on the go. I'm actually X1. I've actually lost the first round, so it is what it is, but let's keep it going. Peace. Okay, ladies and gents, we're after round 2, and I managed to put round 2 in the onion bag. It was such a difficult match. I was playing against Eldlich, against one of my buddies, and it was horrible. Like, Rivalry of the Warlords, lose one turn, Dimension Barrier. It was a difficult game to say the least, but it was a really good match. Took a lot of thought processes, and my side deck came in clutch, to be honest. Evenly matched as always, just puts in so much work. MVP. So yeah, I think we're gonna go straight into round 3, and then I think we're gonna have a break after round 3. So we'll see how we get on after that, ladies and gents. But anyway, catch you on the next one. Peace. Okay, so round 3, ladies and gents, I managed to match myself up against another one of my buddies playing Invoked Eldlich DPE. Now, it was definitely not the best matchup for Evil Twins. So game 1, I managed to go first, but he actually ashed my secret password, and I didn't have any extenders in hand. I didn't see any engine cards. I think I had a couple of Solemn Strikes or Infinite Impermanence, so I proceeded to set those because obviously my turn got stopped, and it was just there she wrote from there. He actually had 2 Solemn Strikes set, and he managed to just basically just whittle down my resources. I was trying to summon off my normal summon as well as summon off Live Twin Home, but he had Solemn Strike for both of them, so I couldn't get any engine going, and I ended up losing that game. Game 2, I managed to win, managed to claw one back. I just kind of ground it out basically. Trouble Sunny is just a fantastic card. It does so much for the deck. The non-targeting send is probably the most effective effect, mainly because it's a little bit unseen, and you can just proc it, you can just activate it whenever you're ready, as long as you've got a Live Twin, or sorry, an Evil Twin monster to send. And normally I play the big one in the main deck, so it's always live to be able to go ahead and use its effect. So definitely a power card there. Game 3, again, I got ashed, I believe, and I just couldn't recover, ladies and gents. I just got dwindled down, out of resources, and I made a crucial mistake. I actually set my Artifact Lancia in a Spell and Trap card zone as a bit of a bluff. It was the only card I had in hand at the time, and I should have held on to it because he proceeded to normal summon Alistair the following turn. Now, if I'd held the Artifact Lancia, I could have prevented the Macabre from hitting the field as early as it did, and I could potentially have got myself back into the game with just a Live Twin draw, or even like a secret password or something like that. But unfortunately I set it, and then I drew into another Lancia, which was crazy. He proceeded to make Access Code Talker and just absolutely obliterate my life points. So all in all, that was just a rough experience. Definitely my own fault. I was responsible for that loss, as well as just my opponent just playing well. So definitely something that I need to improve on. Just my decision making at that time was a little bit wonky, but nevertheless, we are on to the next round. So we actually went straight into round 4. There wasn't really much time to kind of like record an in-between round update. However, round 4 we played it against Chaos Thunder Dragon Lightsworn, which is an interesting deck that does a whole lot of stuff. All the stuff. It's a very monster heavy deck, which is a little bit risky to play in today's day and age of Yu-Gi-Oh! Mainly because of things like Forbidden Droplets, and just having kind of some kind of effect negation other than monsters, because you could just die to a Dark Ruler no more. But nonetheless, the deck does do a lot. But I managed to win this game 2-0. So game 1, I think he may have messed up his combo and ended on just was it a malicious? It might have been a malicious, yeah. And I just proceeded to just do normal Evil Twin things and just end on a bunch of interruptions. So he skewed it up game 1. Game 2, he actually ended a board with Eschatos, and I believe it was another monster. And I just basically just went straight into Zeus. I Zeused his board, and obviously I didn't really leave him with many resources because he used a lot just to be able to get to Eschatos. Now, the reason why I went into Zeus is because I did actually have my Live Twin. Well, I could have put my Live Twin engine online, but obviously Zeus is an interruption by itself, and it's gonna be in your best interest for your opponent to get rid of you, Zeus. So if you would have got rid of the Zeus, I would have just been able to just obviously just normal summon my Live Twin monster and then just pop off from there, because you need to be able to control no monster. So that was hence the reason why I put Zeus on the board in the first place. just to see if you could play around it and just have a little bit of interruption, and then just be able to use my live twin stuff on the following turn. So yeah, all in all, it worked out well. I was a little bit lucky, to be honest, because it was a risky strategy going into Zeus. It probably would have been better for me to get my engine online, but nevertheless, it worked out, like I said. And yeah, we are on to the final round, ladies and gents. Final round.
Okay, ladies and gents, it is the end of round 4, I believe. Yeah, round 4. So I've actually lost 2 and I have won 2, so I'm X2 at the moment. Probably not going to be able to make top cut, but it is what it is. My record just isn't good enough. So round 3, I lost against Invoked, Eldlich, DPE. Yeah, it was a little bit of a back and forth game. It was really good playing against one of my friends, but I made a little bit of misplay in game 3, I believe it was. I set my scythe in a spell and trap card zone as a bit of a bluff, when realistically I should have held it in hand, because he managed to normal summon Alistair. I would have stopped him banishing for his invocation use, which would have meant that he wouldn't have had Macabre on field as a negate. But he went into access code anyway on the following turn and managed to just basically wipe me out anyway. So it was a difficult showing. And then after that, I played against Thunder Dragon Chaos Lightsworn, which was an interesting match. That deck can just keep going and going and going and going. Fortunately, I got the W. I think he bricked game 1, and he just couldn't really do much. And then obviously I had 1 card starter, I had a couple of hand traps and just loads of interruption. And once Evil Twins get going, it's difficult to keep up with their resource game, especially with the popping and the drawing. So I managed to win that one. So I'm X2 at the moment. I'm not too sure how many rounds are left, but we'll see how we get on. There's quite a few good players here today, and it's quite large. I think there's about 20-25 people here that are playing, so it definitely might go to a round 2. So sorry, round 5. So we'll keep it posted, and I'll keep you guys posted anyway. But yeah, catch you on the next one, ladies and gents. Peace. X2 actually lost 2 games overall in 5 rounds of Swiss. If I'd have won 1 more, I probably would have topped. In fact, I definitely would have topped, because everybody else that topped had a record of X1, which was a little bit unfortunate, considering that I understood why I lost. At least one of the games I lost, to be honest. So it is what it is. So in the final round, I didn't actually get to record it. I played against Speedroids, one of my favorite decks, a deck that I definitely will take to locals after I've gone through this this more competitive season, because I got a few regionals coming up, so I want to be able to practice a deck that I'm going to be taking to regionals. But nevertheless, I played against Speedroids. It was a grindy match. He was playing some weird build. I think he got most of the stuff from Legendary Duelist, the latest Legendary Duelist basically, and he just put the deck together, which was good to see, because he had a few tech cards in that I wasn't expecting. I think Magic Karibo, or one of the Karibo monsters that special summons itself and gains life points equal to the amount of damage you would have took, which was crazy. But I literally managed to just defeat his board with Trouble Sunny. I played very conservatively. I didn't try and tag out and go for extra damage and then link it off again. I just literally sat on Trouble Sunny. I had a few back row. I think it was like Solemn Strike and Infinite Impermanence, and I just ground out the win basically after some crazy back and forth. I managed to strike one of his Speedroid monsters, and then I think it was Kite Drake, and then he tried to go into another Kite Drake and actually called by the grave the first Kite Drake that was in the graveyard. So that just shut down his play, and he was like, oh, that was a very clever play. But nonetheless, ladies and gents, a few learning points. I need to be a little bit more attentive, probably have a coffee before I start playing, just so I'm aware of things that are happening, because literally that Lancia interaction and that Baguska interaction literally lost me those 2 games, and that's the type of fine margin, which means you go in X1 or X2 at an event. So it is what it is. But anyway, ladies and gents, we find ourselves at the end of another video. As always, if you did like this content, you know what to do by now. Hit that like button, share, subscribe, all of that beautiful good stuff, and I would definitely see you guys in the next video. Hope you enjoyed. Peace.